Hello everyone, and welcome to a pros and cons of the video game Kingdom 2 Shadoan on Not Now Mom, I'm Gaming. These are short videos featuring all my little nitpicks and pleasantries with having played the game, while sustaining a bare minimum of spoilers. Let the reviewing begin. Pros. Journal for note keeping. Do I have anything in my journal? Why do I not have anything in my journal? Why do I have a journal? I'm so used to games where when you have a journal it self-updates at specific checkpoints in the game, and this is not a journal that does that. It's for you to write notes in so you don't forget things, but I don't really think this is a game where you truly need to keep notes. It's not a huge game with a lot of things to do at once, so it's not like there are cryptic puzzles you need to figure out. Everything's fairly straightforward, you just need to make sure you have the right items to get past specific areas. Also, you can't progress until you have certain items anyway, so keeping a journal for a small area of the game seems redundant. Still, if you're someone who needs or likes to keep track of things, here you go. Old school feel. We've got 80s type of animation going on that are fully voice acted and can be skipped if you keep landing on them, but something else gamers aren't used to these days is that it doesn't exactly hold your hand. I believe most of the tutorial you can find in the manual, but you'll have to click on things on the screen in order to figure out what things do and find information on stuff. And while there are clues in the game with people telling you what to do in certain circumstances, it still doesn't tell you where to go and how to get to that specific moment. I don't know. To tell you the truth, I don't remember a lot of games from way back when, but I do know you needed to save quite often or you'd get screwed over, and that you needed to find your way through to the end on your own. Cons. Script is hard to read. Oof. When you go into the journal that has all the information regarding characters and locations, the script is set into that style that you'd see in books written back in the days of old. Very fantasy-like, very difficult to read at times. I sometimes couldn't figure out the names of people. Game waits on subtitles.
Hello, Grace.
Nathan, what are you still doing here? You are needed in the far reaches. The Tapestry of Seeing will show you the way there. You must hurry.
Oh my god. I think I need to turn the subtitles off. If you have the subtitles on, then when the character speaks, they're going to scroll across the bottom. Well, you have to wait until the subtitles are done scrolling in order for the game to continue. And the text goes by slow enough for you to be able to read it, so you might be waiting a while. You can lose your scrolls. Use your spell scrolls wisely. You only have a limited number available. I hate this. Especially since you need one of the scrolls at a later point in the game. There's no way to get it back once it's gone. And while it states to hold on to your scrolls in the in-game book that provides information to you, half the people aren't going to know there's something of a tutorial as part of the main screen. Meaning if you use a scroll and it doesn't do anything, you'll want to load at a point where you haven't wasted using it. So, save. 4 lives. I think I died. Yep, I died. Your quest is ended. Are you freaking kidding me? Do I have a health bar? You don't have a health bar. Your lives are indicated by the roses on the right side of the screen. Why roses? I have no idea. Doesn't really fit with the aesthetic of you being a wizard, honestly, but whatever. The only way you'll know the roses are your lives is if you read it in the game manual. Or if you die and notice one of the roses is turning black. I didn't notice this before until after I got a game over from dying too many times. It seemed like the game was just allowing death whenever it occurred, but no, that's not the case. You have a limit. Don't exceed it. I DNF'd. I'm sorry. Are you telling me if we use the scrolls, use them up at the very beginning of the game, we can't make it to the end? Because we need one? For those of you that don't know, this means I did not finish. This was not my choice, by the way. I was enjoying the game to a certain extent, despite the difficulty I was having figuring out where to go and what items to use, but that's on me. The reason I didn't finish the game is because I needed a certain scroll to progress. And once you use the scrolls a certain number of times, they disappear permanently. Meaning I could no longer progress the game. because the devs decided not to implement a second option of getting around that flaw. Instead, we were forced to reload to where we do have the scroll still, which none of my saves took me to that moment, or restart the game. A terrible flaw, if you ask me, considering all the times I've already backtracked to get to where I had to stop. And that's the end of a pros and cons review of Kingdom 2 Shadoan. Thanks for watching, everyone, and don't get in too much trouble when you say, "Not now, Mom, I'm gaming."